Hey everybody, welcome to Radio Labyrinth. This is season 6, episode 58 or 59, depending on what number you're looking at in the show notes right in front of you on your podcast, or it's correct on YouTube. So that's all that's important. We are welcoming a guest this evening to do the show with us and hang out, and her name is Emily Hein Warren. She's a longtime listener and contributor to the show. If you remember earlier this year, she was on one of our abortive games, and we didn't do a game about abortions. But did a game a couple times and then never revisited it. But it was fun while we did it. Emily is joining us because she gave a very generous donation to the Aflac Cancer and Blood Donors or Disorders Center at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. It was 95.5 WSB, where I work, WSB's Carathon. And thank you very much, Emily, and welcome.
Yay, welcome, Emily.
Hey.
So you decided to come back even after that game.
Yeah, I embarrassed myself pretty bad on that game, but I'm going to try and get y'all back tonight.
No, the game was terrible. It wasn't your fault.
Yeah, no, it wasn't terrible.
I came up with it. It was bad.
Yeah, but I don't like saying negative things about games because games get upset when you talk about them poorly. What game do you have for us tonight, Emily?
We're going to be playing Spoonful of Sugar Trivia.
Spoonful of trivia about sugar.
It's going to be a game where I'm going to give you some famous movie lines that are talking about food, culinary world, things we all like to eat. We all like to watch movies. So I'm going to give you a quote from a movie, and then you got to tell me which movie it's from.
Eat, Pray, Love. The cook, the thief, the wife, and his lover.
I almost threw in a quote from Chocolat, but I wasn't sure how deep of a Johnny Depp fans you all were.
Chocolat. I didn't see that film.
I must say, I wouldn't know.
We did. We saw it in the theater. We went and saw Chocolat in the theater.
You and Jeff did?
I believe.
That's a date movie. You and Jeff went on a date to see Chocolat.
Well, wasn't that girl from Amélie in it? The woman. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I actually went to see that movie by myself in the theater.
Oh, well, that too. You could go by yourself to go see it. But it didn't seem like two dudes. Like, hey, dude, let's go see Chocolat.
Yeah, maybe I went out on a date or something and saw that. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it.
Well, first of all, before we get going on the show, I have to say congratulations to Admiral James T.J. Hooker Kirk. How old is he? 92 or is he 90 years old? William Shatner went into space today. I mean, just right at the end, he just put the tip into space since that rocket that Jeff Bezos, what's it called? Blue Origin.
Phallus 1. Yeah,
Phallus 1, the Josie and the Pussycats space rocket is exactly what it looks like, or a Hitachi wand if you're a modern creep who visits websites. But it just, the tip went into space and then it floated back down. And it's pretty cool that they invited him to go. And so congratulations. I would never do that. I'd shit my pants.
Do you think he's gonna be like some kind of Guy Pearce Prometheus character now? Like that was his whole goal, of going up there to so he could live forever somehow. Yeah. He's looking for the first humans. Yes,
probably. And they pulled that same joke. You remember back in the 90s, the late 90s, they sent John Glenn into space, or maybe it was 2000, but they put him on the space shuttle. So John Glenn, the first man American in space, they put him on the space shuttle. He goes up and they fly around. They do the whole mission. And the funny meme back then, before memes were memes, was everybody dress up like Planet of the Apes. But that joke didn't catch fire and go all over the world because we didn't have social media. I saw that same joke. Everybody put on your Planet of the Apes mask. Well, they're only up there for 8 minutes, so it's impossible for the world to just transfix or transform that way. And
no, but it's possible to go through a wormhole and come back onto the Planet of the Apes.
Or you could fall into, Los Angeles 10,000 years ago and run into a psychologist so you can talk about your problems with your son. I completely noped on that show. I like the premise, but I'm not going to watch La Brea. Anyway, that's digressing. But yeah, I think it's really cool that TJ Hooker went to space. And I had to do the impression on the Von Hessler Doctrine. It was very difficult, so I had to dial up my best Kevin Pollak doing William Shatner impression and keep relying on it. Then finally we had audio of him coming out, so I tried to do the old man Shatner, and that was pretty much easier, because the extent of my Shatner has always been when I tried to get him to autograph Jeff's communicator when he came into the regular guy's morning show, and he went, "Oh no."
He's got a YouTube video out right now where he watches people do impressions of him. He's like flummoxed. He's like, I don't sound like that. I don't sound like that at all. It's like,
no, there's really there's a couple others I've heard that are good, but really the best one that gets it, even when he's not over. I mean, he can do the calm Shatner, and it's of course Kevin Pollak. He's nailed him, and he's the best one. But yeah, so Jeff and I are tired. We went to see Dead and Company last night at Solaris Amphitheater at Lakewood, whatever the fuck Solaris means. And Emily, you were there also.
Yeah, I think Solaris stands for this venue should be shut down.
You don't like the venue? I like it better than Alpharetta. Why don't you like that?
No, you can't park. You can't get in the theater or in the stadium. Plus now everybody has to stop and show their Vax cards, so it takes even longer. But once I got in, yeah, the show was great. It was just jamming all night. I really enjoyed it.
See, I like.
How's Jerry Garcia?
He wasn't there, Steph. He quit the band in 1995. He said, "I'm tired of the Soldier Field shit." That was it. But the reason I like the Lakewood is because it's dirty and it's still in a mostly shitty neighborhood. So that means I think there's more play. To me, it's harder to get into the Alpharetta venue because it's all there's office parks, but it's just so sterile, and there's more cops and there's more people walking around in the yellow shirts telling you what you can't do. At Lakewood, it's got more of a chill vibe. I don't know if that's because it's Dead and Company. There's
two sides on Lakewood. There's two sides for parking, so not everybody jamming into one area.
Right. But it was still fun. I mean, the concert was really good. Yeah, and it was a good couple of sets. If you're into the Grateful Dead, you would have enjoyed it, I think. There's some songs I don't think I've seen in concert previously. Maybe I was so fucked up before I don't remember.
No, I've never seen Crazy Fingers before.
I haven't either. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. And my boyfriend, John Mayer, did great as always.
Now, did you go to see John Mayer, or are you and your husband longtime Dead fans?
Well, I grew up out west, so I hate to say I was not a huge Dead fan growing up, even though I should have. I mean, I still remember, though, the day Jerry died.
Mm-hmm.
You would have thought, a plague came across the high school when everybody heard the news. But I've gotten into them more, getting into jam bands through my 20s and 30s. And then, the icing on the cake was putting John Mayer in front of him. I was like...
What did he do mostly? His new album?
Yeah, he didn't. He did Your Body is a Wonderland, and Bobby hit it over the head with a guitar. He brought a lot of younger people to the shows, and that's why they're now playing amphitheaters again instead of playing like the Fox Theater or something.
Yeah. I was telling Jake last night, I could be wrong, but I think that they kind of brought him on to keep the Dead as a brand alive.
Oh yeah.
Even all those guys go, I think they'd still want to be touring some sort of form or fashion of the Grateful Dead, touring in infinity,
Well, I think it's cool that they're still doing it. I think there's something to what you're saying. He definitely brings that younger edge of the millennial generation, and then maybe even younger people. I don't know. I mean, the guy hasn't had a hit in a long time, but people.
John Mayer?
Well, he didn't have like a radio hit. Is what I'm saying.
His last album has done very well. The one that came out like a month and a half ago.
Yeah. But I'm just saying it's not ubiquitous,
Yeah.
Like in 2000, whatever, you heard every radio station was playing Your Body is a Wonderland and Why Georgia and I Want to Run Through the Halls. And...
Is he millennial? Like he's like 43.
Yeah, that makes him a millennial, older edge of the millennial generation. But
like the first.
Yeah, the very first. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. His singing bothers me, but I can live with it. I liked O'Teal. I thought he was the best singer, but we're not gonna talk about the Dead the whole time. I did like the fact that you saw a lot of people out and about having fun, not worried. And I didn't mind that they were checking your car. I don't like being, show your papers, please. But also I do like the fact that, you do have a sense of safety in your mind, even if it's only in your mind, knowing that, most of the people in there had vaccination cards, or they did the test outside. Could you imagine driving from, say, like Nashville? We're going to go see the dead. Oh, did you get your vaccine? No, but I'm going to take the test. And you get down there and you tested positive. Fuck, you can't go in. So I don't know. I'd rather have the card. So what else are we going to talk about today? Emily, I don't know how often you listen to the show, but we talk about, TV, but we do a little bit of news and talking about current things that are in the news as far as pop culture goes. So if you feel free to weigh in.
Sounds good. I'll try to keep up.
We are going to play your game. I want to talk about a couple things that were in the news. We already talked about Shatner, which I still think is the coolest thing in the news cycle that's buried by everything else. Dean Cain, remember Dean Cain? He was Superman in the 90s. What was that? Lois and Clark, was that the name of that show?
Yeah.
Terry Hatcher. And bringing Superman to modern audiences, because prior to that, Superman was just a movie. And then before that, it was
George Reeves.
George Reeves, yeah.
Yeah. And a tragic end for both he and Christopher Reeves, but no tragic end for Dean Cain, except for, he's excommunicated from Hollywood for being a Republican. But he's upset because Super They is coming out, and Super They, by the way, is Superman's son, John Kent, has come out as bisexual, and it made all the social medias and all that shit, and people were upset, and then other people were like, fuck you, I'm upset that you're upset, and then the back and forth. And really what it ended up being was just the new modern commercial for, hey, there's a new Superman comic book or Superman storyline. That's what these things always end up being. They're always just commercials, people arguing over a comic book where, you're upset that Superman is gay, but you're not upset that he's from another planet. And the only thing that can keep him at bay is a green rock from that same planet. That's impossible. It's just a comic book, and who cares?
It's just a way to sell comics, because comics are on the way. They've been on the way out,
Right.
They've got to bring the people back somehow. And any press is good press.
Exactly. And you go back to the 90s when the Spider-Man that was really the end of my DC and Marvel comic collecting. I still buy different ones from time to time, but collecting the major ones. Spider-Man went through this weird thing, the Clone Saga, and there were 10 different books, and they had 10 different covers, and you had to get all of them, and blah 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 blah. And it was just excessive and stupid. Nowadays they don't have to do that, because they can just say, Superman's son is bi. Now, I didn't know that Superman's son was taking over for Superman, which is kind of weird to me, because Superman shouldn't age. He did age from a baby
he's doing the Invincible storyline. He's leaving planet Earth to go fix things somewhere else in the universe, and he's leaving his son to be the Superman for Earth while he's gone.
Well, he's going to be busy at a lot of rest stops, so I hope he. No, it was a joke. It was a joke. It's not the 90s anymore.
There's no more phone booths anymore.
No. We have to change the uniform.
Rest stop bathrooms. That's it.
See, that's the thing that bothers me about this. Not that he's bisexual. I think that's cool. It doesn't matter to me. But what bothers me is you can't make jokes. And there are a lot of jokes you can make that would not be harmful. They would just be funny little one-off.
You can't say that he's going to change from his street clothes into his uniform in a glory hole.
Well, you can. You could say it. But you said it. I didn't say it.
I don't know. It's like Jon Stewart said. You can say the jokes.
Yes.
You just got to take the heat.
Yes.
Have the balls to take the heat. It's not about like you can't say it. You can say it. You just got to fucking take what you get from it.
Right. And now Dave Chappelle having a special pulled off of Netflix, which didn't happen and won't happen, is a lot different than you're fired from your radio job. Fuck, I'm never going to get another job.
You have to have that FU money to be able to eat. So I have a question. My comic book experience starts and ends at the Archie comics.
Uh-huh.
So is sexuality something that's brought up all the time in all of these DC comics, like in the actual comic books? Do they talk
brought
about
up in Archie? Archie has all sorts of woke characters. Yeah, check it out. Jughead. There's one episode I just read where Jughead was felching Archie, and no, that's
God, not felching.
They in the comics throughout the years, there's always been sexual relationships between characters, but you know, and even homosexual relationships between characters is very common from even the 80s. But yeah, this is just seems like a publicity ploy is all it is.
Yeah, it makes people go, oh, Superman's son's going to be gay in this comic book. I better buy a copy so I can sell it. Yeah, in 20 years or whatever, it'll be worth something. But just like the death of Superman comic books, everybody thought, oh, we're gonna
that's not worth
these and they'll be worth something. They're not even worth cover price anymore.
Another thing though in the comic book world, and this is DC also, Aquaman's coming out as straight. I wish they'd make him weird.
I thought he had like a Troy McClure thing going on.
Aquaman?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he'd like to fish.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Patrick Duffy never read as not.
He was the man from the mountains. He was an Aquaman. He was more of a in the vein of Namor, Prince of the Sea or whatever.
Prince of the Seas, yeah.
Which, by the way, Namor has never been brought into the Marvel universe. And he was an Avenger, and he was also involved with the Fantastic Four. He was found around the same time as Captain America. So I wish they would bring Namor.
Well, to be a complete nerd, I'll go ahead and throw this in. In the Marvel movies, when it was showing the map, and you would see those little dots on the map behind someone's head, like one of those scenes, there was a dot for Namor.
Oh,
so
really?
So it's kind of there. I'm just waiting for him to. It'll probably be like a Phase 5 character.
They haven't found a woman to play him yet, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
What do you think, though? I mean, Superman is not a human being.
No, he's not.
He's an illegal alien.
It just seems like they would have something more interesting to be, something beyond bisexual, beyond any of these things. You know, like they do fuck rocks or something. I mean, just something.
He could fuck the Thing.
Yeah, just
you have to do a crossover. Sorry.
Well, that was the Kevin Smith. That was always the Kevin Smith thing. It was like Superman can't fuck Lois. He'd blow a load right through her back.
That is true. Or set her on fire with his heat vision. I'm sure. I mean, something's going to happen when he gets close. Something bad.
He'd have to screw with a kryptonite condom, and that would kill him.
How could you have Supergirl if you're not from Krypton? Her hymen is like trying. Never. But seriously, think about it. You could never do it.
No.
I mean, you can't even shoot never mind, because this is a charity show. We're not gonna go down that route. Wokes are mad at the new Ghostbusters, by the way. It's getting good reviews, 81% right now on Rotten Tomatoes. Now that's a critic score, which you know that the fan score is going to be way up there. But I read one negative review, and of course it came from The Guardian, and they're mad because the person who wrote this obviously doesn't know that the last Ghostbusters movie with all the ladies in it was not canon. And this movie will be canon. So they're erasing this from the canon. Well, it was never in the canon, so shut the fuck up about it. The movie was bad. It was too long. The director let everybody walk all over him. And instead of saying cut, he said, go ahead and do whatever you want. I'll just put it in the film. Well, that's gone and out of the way. Ivan Reitman's son, Jason Reitman, directed this film. And like I said, it's getting good reviews. Ghostbusters Afterlife, right? That's what it's called.
Yep.
And that comes out relatively soon. Are you guys going to watch it?
Oh, for sure.
We should do a radio outing at the movies to go see that.
That would be cool.
A good one.
Are you a Ghostbusters fan, Emily?
Yeah, and I hate to admit, I kind of like the one with the girls in it, but I also get my kids and they enjoyed it. But I am a super huge fan.
Well, a lot of people enjoyed it.
I mean, it was a funny movie, and it just they chose not to make it part of the Ghostbusters canon, so let it be a standalone movie. That's fine with me.
Yeah, they kind of ostracized themselves by doing that.
Yeah, I just wish there was.
I agree. I think they should have named it something else. I don't think that it really was a true Ghostbusters film. So they swapped out the name or something.
I think they wasted what's her name from Saturday Night Live. I think she's a funny comedic actress. I mean, evidenced by and please jump in with her name.
Leslie Jones.
She was very funny in Coming to America sequel. And I think, but they had her go, I'm the janitor. I'm going to drop, you know what I mean? I don't like that shit. Let her be her. And I think she would have been funnier than, just being the Ernie Hudson stand-in. Anyway, a couple of other things before we play this game. The 70s show is getting a spinoff for Red and Kitty. So tell me about that.
It looks like they've agreed to put this show together. It's going to be called the 90s show, and it's going to be Red and Kitty being grandparents and having Eric and Donna, their daughter, who's now in college, starting college, living with them while she goes to college, and then all of her 80s or late 80s, early 90s style friends come over and basically remake the show based on just a couple of decades later.
So they sit around playing Magic the Gathering and taking Ritalin
and doing whippets. Yeah.
Are there any of the other original cast members going to be on?
I probably Eric and Donna would probably make cameos, but Red and Kitty, they're the only two that are going to be standard characters. And you might get
there's no way that Hyde will be participating in that one.
No,
he's watching that one in the community room.
Yeah, maybe they'll drive by his jail.
He's on Xenu.
Now, don't you picture like a scene where he's just kind of in a room by himself with Kurt Cobain's "Rape Me" playing in the background?
Yeah, because that's what's happening to him in jail, not because we're celebrating what he did. What a douchebag. It took forever for that guy to get in trouble for it, and everybody knew for a long time. But yeah, he's banned from Hollywood. Are his brothers still acting?
His younger brother, the one that was in Scary Movies, he was in Scary Movie 2, and
Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, he's still acting, but not.
His sister's been nowhere to be found on The Walking Dead.
Oh, his sister was on The Walking Dead. Oh, yeah, that's right. She left though, didn't she?
They didn't kill her off, as far as I remember, and she just disappeared.
It always sucks for actor families when somebody rapes in the family.
You're tainted that way. Another show that's returning to television, and I watched it every once in a while, mostly when Jeff was watching it when we were roommates. G4 TV is returning. What is going on with that? Is it a network? Entire network?
Yeah, it's the network. G4 is coming back, and that means Attack of the Show is coming back.
Will Chris Gore be involved?
And he's not listed as being involved. I don't know why. Maybe he's just doing other shit on his own now, but he was always on Attack of the Show every Thursday, or Tuesday.
That was the best thing about that network, was that show.
Yeah. Who was the woman that everybody liked? Not the
Olivia.
Not Olivia Munn, but the other one that all the nerds liked. Morgan Webb. That's her name. Morgan Webb.
Yeah. She hosted X-Play, yeah, with Morgan.
Let's play some video games.
Didn't they used to play reruns of that Most Extreme Elimination Challenge on there?
Yeah, maybe. And they were the first ones to show the Ninja Warrior show.
And that's the original Squid Game.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk with Steph about. Did you watch the Sopranos movie?
I watched like 5 minutes of it.
You weren't into it.
No, I've actually went back and I started rewatching The Sopranos instead.
Ah, okay. And then did you watch all of Squid Game?
I watched the first 2 episodes.
What do you think of it so far?
Really into it.
Yeah, it's a cool show.
Yeah.
I'm 2 episodes in as well. I didn't think I'd like it, but it hooked me instantly.
Yeah. Same.
Yep.
Don't listen to our
spoiler cast
deep dive episode on it until you're finished.
I found a lawyer in Korea, in English. Her practice specializes with English speakers. She broke down in her blog all the laws that were broken and the consequences people would face in Korea. So I think that's pretty neat. So that's pretty much all that's going on pop culture wise. There's a lot going on, but that's one of the big things. Movies this week. I'm going to hopefully be able to watch the Halloween film. What's it called again? Halloween
Kills. They're actually my mom. They're playing it at the brand new drive-in they just built near my mom's house in Michigan.
At a drive-in, that would be so cool.
Fuck yeah!
A brand new drive-in, that would be even better with like a
it's state of the art. Yeah, like super. All the cool speakers and new swings for kids to get snatched and molested on. It's going to be perfect.
By the way, just digressing for a bit. I believe, Steph, you turned us on to the intro of the last Tim Dillon, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, Tim Dillon's podcast where he broke down The Sopranos. That was so funny. The Many Saints of Newark.
Many Saints of Newark.
Yes, I'm not even going to try to do it justice. Just go listen. If you don't know who Tim Dillon is, go to your podcatcher, type in Tim Dillon. Listen to that episode about the Many Saints, because that first part of it was so fucking funny.
The producer, though, when he was like, quit blacking up your voice.
Yeah, you can't do that, dude. He goes, I can do the gay character. I'm gay. You can't do that. But it was pretty funny. So I guess we're ready to play the game. Let's take a break, come back, and we'll get going.
And we're back.
We are back, and now we are ready to play the game. What is it called again? Pour some sugar on me? All Def Leppard trivia?
Spoonful of Sugar Trivia.
Spoonful of Sugar Trivia. Okay.
Prepare to be underwhelmed. We are dumb.
We are dumb. We are very
for all of us, Jeff.
This will be the Radio Labyrinth Squid Game.
Yeah, for all of us.
We're all gonna die. Like in
Everybody get behind Tim.
That would be a bad idea.
And I'll give you a famous line from a movie
All
that
right.
references food, cooking, anything in the culinary world, and you tell me the movie. So, for example, if I was to give you Jenny and Me was like peas and carrots.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, okay. This will be one more just example. As God is my witness, I will never go hungry again.
That's Gone with the Wind.
Yes. All right, but say your name as soon as you know it.
All right, here we go. We elves try to stick to the 4 main food groups: candy, candy. What
Elf.
is it? Yes. So that is Elf, Will Ferrell playing Buddy. All right, one for Jeff. Up next, leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Tim. The Godfather.
Yes, good job. Good job. All right. This one is, if you are what you eat, then I only want to eat all the good stuff. If you are what you eat, I only want to eat the good stuff.
Steph. Willy Wonka.
Ooh, close. Patton Oswalt.
Tim. Ratatouille.
Yes, correct. Which, Tim, welcome to the world of kids' movies. You are going to watch them all again and all the new ones, and they're actually pretty good.
He does like Elmo, even though he doesn't know what it means.
All right, next up. It's so damn hot. Milk was a bad choice.
Dustin. Anchorman.
Yes, correct.
God, I didn't know that one.
Is butter a carb? Let me try to do it as the character. Is butter a carb?
Steph. Clueless.
Ooh, in the same vein.
Jeff, Mean Girls.
Yes. Mean Girls.
Come on, Steph.
Score very well here. I hope someone else take a score too. Okay, this is a good one you guys like. A census taker once tried to test me.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yes, I knew you were going to get that one. Where am I? Ogres have layers. Ogres have, or onions have layers. You get it? We both have.
Shrek.
Yes.
All right.
Again, that came from what my kids watching that movie 500 times.
I've only seen it once.
So up next. Are you nuts? We had pancakes for breakfast. Got to go to a place.
Fargo.
Yes. Good job.
I'll
finish that. Got to go to a place I can get a shot and a beer and a steak. Maybe no more fucking pancakes. All right. Got a couple more. I would be proud to partake in your pecan pie.
Tim. When Harry Met Sally.
Yep. All right, a couple more. Sonny, true love is the greatest thing in the world except for a nice MLT.
Jeff, Princess Bride.
Yes.
Oh.
My 10-year-old guessed that today. I gave him the game and he was like, Princess something? I'm like, wow. If I could only have one food for the rest of my life,
Dustin,
that's easy.
Stand by Me.
I thought that one would slip you guys up.
That's a
I
Stephen
feel like
King
you
movie.
gave them all the answers, Emily, before the show.
No,
This feels like a setup. How do these assholes know this shit so quick? I don't understand this.
Because we're dorks.
It's the only knowledge we contain.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or they Googled all the food movie trivia last week when I told them.
I didn't know this is what it was about.
Sorry, Gil, I can't feed you. I need to Google some food.
This one might be kind of tricky. There's no point to any of this. It's just a random lottery of meaningless tragedy and a series of near escapes. So I take pleasure in the details, a quarter pounder with cheese. Those are good.
Oh.
The sky about 10 minutes before it starts to rain. The moments where your laughter becomes a cackle.
Steph. Reality Bites.
Yes, good job.
I've never seen that.
Good one.
What?
Nope. Well, so if that's all of them,
that is it. That's the game. I
got one at least. Jesus.
Steph makes it to the board. What's the score? I got Tim and Dustin tied at 4, Jeff with 3, and Steph at 1.
Yep, that's what I got too.
All right, that was actually a fun game.
We should do a tiebreaker.
Okay, so I've got a tiebreaker. You want to do a tiebreaker?
Okay, sure. So it's just me and Dustin?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, my dear girl, there are some things that just aren't done, such as drinking Dom Perignon 53 above the temperature of 38 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll keep going. That's just as bad as listening to the Beatles without earmuffs.
Never Say Never Again?
Close, Goldfinger.
Oh, no tiebreaker.
No tiebreaker. So you're all winners in my game.
That was a fun game. I think we should do more games like that where we do the movie quotes and they're related to a topic. That was fun. That was quick and easy, and we'll let Stephanie present it so she won't have to compete.
It would probably be best. Yeah, I think you should let Emily just come on and do it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Our game master.
I'll be the game master. I
need somebody to replace Ira.
He had the best games. I mean, he would go elaborate on these games. I mean, not that yours isn't good. I'm just saying that he would do.
Yeah, no, I will say that I had Ira in mind as I was trying to create this game. So hopefully I lived up to his standards.
You did great.
Sure.
You did, for sure.
It was pretty awesome. So now is the part of the show where we talk about what we watched and all that jazz. And I did not watch an awful lot of television. So who wants to go first? Steph, why don't you go? Because you haven't been on in a while.
I watched the Chappelle thing, the closer.
What'd you think?
I loved it. It was great. It was
Everybody
really funny.
Yeah.
Did you like the part where he was talking to you in the bar? I don't care about your Subway tiles, bitch.
There was so many parts I thought were funny. Definitely the strippies when he was talking about them putting their feet in the dirt.
Yeah.
That part got me. The part when he was talking about watching the videos of the black people beating up Asians, and that's what was probably going on inside of him.
Yeah, talking about the virus. He says he's the Magic Johnson of coronavirus.
That got me. I thought it was really funny. Yeah. I can't really fault it anywhere. The only thing that I will say is that I felt like he was talking about the guy who was a slave and then he became a slave master. Mm-hmm. And then he was even more brutal, like extra brutal. And the white slave masters were like, Jesus, God, blah, blah, blah. And he made the point, because to me, I feel like Dave's generally very diplomatic. And he made the point of, well, that was the business model he was taught and da-da-da. I felt like that was kind of cheap way to get out of it, because especially for somebody who listens to a lot of true crime, if you're extra brutal for no reason, you're just a sick fuck. And I really felt like he should have made that point. He just kind of was like, yeah, that was the business model he's taught. So that was my only thinky part of what he said, where I was just like, he took the easy way out on that one. He could have.
Were you willing to forgive the baby after you watched it?
Never mad at the baby.
I don't even know who the baby is. I mean,
the baby's last album was terrible. It was terrible. And that was the other thing too. Why don't you bring that up? The baby's free, but nobody wants him. His music sucks, but whatever. And I watched There's Someone Inside This House on Netflix. It was some horror movie that was you just kept thinking it was going to do something. It didn't. It was bleh. Rewatching The Sopranos, like I said.
You finished season 1 and you're on season 2, right?
I'm on season 2. Richie has just made his debut. What a psychopath. He ran dude over.
Yep. Oh, poor Beansy.
Poor Beansy. Just ran Beansy's ass over. And Tony, it's Tony's just got him in the mall and was like, you need to fucking learn some respect. Yeah. And I'm running the shit now. Blah, 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 blah. And Richie just looks at him with those dead damn doll eyes.
Don't give me those Manson lamps. That's what he calls them, Manson lamps.
They're so creepy. Yeah. So creepy.
David Proval is an amazing actor. He should have been in a lot more than he was.
His mother is truly the worst mother. She is the worst mother of all time. Diabolical.
Yeah.
Just such a bitch.
And,
how she sets Junior up.
Oh, yeah.
And then she's like, oh, but now I have dementia. I don't remember any of this crap.
Who is that?
God bless it. She's the ultimate manipulator.
And Vera Farmiga does a good job. You'll see.
To me, the only person on the whole show who's not a manipulator is Carmela.
Oh, she's incredibly manipulative. You'll find out.
Oh, I guess that's coming on down the road. I've only watched The Sopranos one time, and it's years ago. And so it's like I'm watching it for the first time. And there's all these, we have all these young kids at work now, like all these 20-somethings or whatever.
They're all watching it, aren't they?
They're all watching it. And the one girl, she was in the lunchroom the other day. She goes, "No spoilers, no spoilers."
The show was out 20 years ago. No spoilers.
That's what I'm saying. The show came out like 20. What are you talking about? No spoilers. Jesus Christ.
I'll make a recommendation to you before you move on. If you really love if you want to get like what's going on in each of those episodes, a good companion to that is Talking Sopranos with Michael Imperioli and Steven Sciarippa.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. So do they go in order?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna start doing that. I'm starting
like I do with the Office Ladies, where you listen to the Office Ladies break down the episode, and then you watch that episode on Peacock. And
I only do that with the episodes that I really like with the Office Ladies. But anyway, so and then I watched one of the first episodes of the new installment of The Movies That Made Us, the Aliens one, and that was really good.
Cool.
So, I would definitely watch that. And my staff pick is, oh God, I hope it's better than Billions. That's all I can say, because Billions has sucked the fat when I quit watching it. It's such a piece of shit. But Succession is coming back this Sunday, October 17th, season 3. And if you watch Succession, then you know the end of season 2 was like, what? So this is like a really big deal. I love Succession. And it was one of those shows like I didn't want to like it. I thought, how can you possibly get into the show? None of these characters are redeemable. None of them are likable. Well, they're not. But it's still funny and evil and mean. And it's just fun to watch.
The back half of Billions was good, Steph, of season 5. If you watch it, it's good to see how Damian Lewis is leaving the show.
That's what I'm watching, Jeff, and I just can't get into it. I guess it's just I just don't care anymore about this Taylor going after Axe, and now you got
that was the first part of season 5, but the second part of season 5, I think they course corrected and made it really good, and it was kind of sad to see Axe go.
I'm trying to get back into it. I let it die off for a while there with COVID, and then I've started watching a few, and I can see what you're saying about him trying to pull it back together, but I don't know. So they do tell you at the end of this season why he's not going to be in the next one?
Yeah. Well, in real life, his wife died, so he's leaving the show.
So I was wondering, well, how are they going to make this show go on without him? Because he's one of the,
Uncle Junior's taking over.
Okay.
Corey Stoll. Yeah.
But that's not going to be. The show is him and Giamatti, which that's why I feel like it should have just already been over.
That's what everybody's saying, but some people are saying they'll give it a chance because it came back so well with the back half of season 5 that they'll keep with it at least for a few episodes. But a lot of people are saying, maybe it did jump the shark with Damian Lewis leaving.
I mean, I feel like we've all changed. COVID has changed us, and COVID changed that show. Like the show was pre-COVID, funny, silly, whatnot, and now I just don't feel like it fits. There's something missing from it, for me anyway.
I felt like that was shameless because they all had their masks on and stuff.
I hate that.
Up in 10 years when the whole rest of the season didn't have masks, and then all of a sudden we do.
Yeah, Shameless was rough. They deserve some kind of movie or something later on, but they killed Frank off already. So spoiler alert, but
that was well known.
Yeah. They should have brought Amy Rossum back just for one episode for the final.
I didn't watch much either. I only watched the Squid Game, of course. I'm still watching Blacklist and catching up on it, and he's still an amazing actor. And
somehow that popped up in my recommendations. I don't know if Siri or Alexa or somebody was listening to us talk about Blacklist.
Probably, yeah.
I'll have to give you my mom's phone number, Dustin.
She love it.
She'll tell you all about it every episode and break it down for you. And then that's why you got to watch The Blacklist, Steph. It's a good show. You have to watch The Blacklist.
My staff pick is going to be Dune on HBO Max and at the theater. And I'm going to try to hit the theater for this one just because, I mean, he makes the director, Villeneuve, he makes such beautiful shots and everything. I can't wait to see it on a big screen.
Are they doing IMAX?
Yes. And it is in 2 parts. So this will only be, half the story, probably to the point that he, becomes the leader of the rebel group. That'll probably end it and then the next one will be, I think, next year. I think they filmed them all at the same time. So it's just already in the can. So it'll come out pretty quick.
Awesome. See the beautiful Timothy Chalamet.
Who's going to be the new Willy Wonka, which I won't see. I didn't like the Depp one very much. I did see it, of course, because it was a Tim Burton film, but I can't get past the Gene Wilder's, to me, and will always be Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a prequel, right? Are they even getting into Andy stuff? I thought this was when he was a kid.
No, but and Timothy Chalamet is saying that he's trying to be
Wilder.
Trying to be respectful of the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka.
All right.
He's a good actor. I bet you he'll be like a baby Wilder. He'll probably get all of his mannerisms down, the whole thing.
I want him to be like Pawtucket Pete. I'll go because Jeff has more than me, and Emily, you'll get to tell us your staff pick for the week if you don't mind. So think about that if you don't already have it on your mind. I watched, this is a show that Dustin, I think, recommended, Oats Studios on Netflix. Watched all of them. There's more of them available on YouTube, by the way, if you're into this sort of thing. I thought there was so much going on, all these different snippets and shows. I think a lot of them would make good series. And some of them wouldn't, but did anybody else watch that? You watched it, right, Dustin?
Oh yeah, I've watched them multiple times. It's been out on YouTube for probably 2 or 3 years.
Right.
But yeah, he made them, and his idea was when he didn't after he did Chappie, I think was the last one that he did that everybody just didn't like. So his idea was to create this studio in South Africa and produce this stuff on his own because he'd made so much money off those 3 movies that he'd made that these were going to be pitches for new movies or things to studios, and they just didn't come through. The one with Sigourney Weaver was actually were going to use part of the unused Alien script that he wrote. Was tied into it, but then he changed it. But yeah, all of those they're amazing. The special effects, of course, that's what he's known for. He's got a special effects house called Oats, just like Peter Jackson has, his own. This was his version, and I'm really surprised he didn't pick any of them up.
By him, we're talking about Neil Blomkamp, who did District 9 and Chappie, and he's a good actor and he's a good filmmaker. So, but yeah, you're right. The one with Sigourney Weaver, that could be its own thing, and I hope that some of that stuff gets made. I mean, these have been around; they were made a while ago,
but they look brand new. I mean, they look
I just watched the first episode today. Mentioned that you guys would probably bring it up, and I liked it. It was the one with Sigourney. So they're all different. Are they based in the same world?
No, they're all separate. These were like ideas for movies, so they're almost like shorts. And each one of them's different and have a different style too.
There's one set in the 80s. It's like an infomercial from the 80s where it's like a cooking device show, and it ends up just being misery for the people that are hosting it. So
yeah, there's some of it's and not all of it. I mean, most of it's sci-fi, but there's also comedy. There's one where there's the guy from District 9, the main character, plays God, and he's got like a little desk in front of him that has creation on it, and he like makes things happen with little people.
Give them a plague.
Yeah, send in the plague. And
they're having too much fun. Send in the animals.
Yeah, it's really ingenious.
Let's see. I listened to Gilbert Gottfried's amazing Colossal podcast from last week with Rainn Wilson and Aaron Lee. It's a good episode. They talk about one of our former guests too, who Aaron was friends with, and that did a lot of social media for him. He passed away this year. Jeff, of course, you know who I'm talking about.
Mike McPadden.
Yes, McBeardo. We had him on the show in 2019, I believe. And he's if you haven't read any of his works, Google his name and buy some of these works. He's a funny guy. He was a great guest too, and maybe we'll link to it here. And my staff pick, I'm going with the USA series, The Sinner, which returns. The last season was the worst thing I've ever watched with all those people. So this new season can't be worse.
It was so bad. I quit watching it.
I had to finish it because I really like Bill Pullman, but it was not a good season. The first two were great.
Was this that Twin Peaks looking thing? He's looking for a serial killer, and you can't tell if he's real or if he's imagining it.
It's not. It doesn't give off those vibes to me because it's a linear show and there's no science fiction or anything. But yeah, he was chasing a serial killer, and it was ridiculous because he was a cop in a small town in New York State, and he's going to New York and following this guy around. He would have been in trouble for it.
First season though, the one with Jessica Biel, where she was the star of it, it was it had a really good twist ending to it.
Yeah, and Carrie Coon's season was good too, I thought.
Yeah.
But
just this last one was, what the hell was going on?
I watched What We Do in the Shadows. That was good. The Colin Robinson story is continuing, trying to find how the energy vampires came to life, and they end up finding a siren instead.
Sweet.
Finished all Squid Games. Watched Walking Dead. I wish that show would just die already, and now they're introducing a new show.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to start next year, and then the anthology series where every episode's different. So it just won't go away. I watched Only Murders in the Building this week.
No spoilers. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, same.
Very good.
All right.
And now it opens up a new avenue of investigation of somebody that we've been seeing all along, but maybe have something to do with it. That's all I'll say.
Oh my God, I ate spaghetti.
I watched the first episode of Chucky, the new series.
I thought that started tonight.
No, it started last night.
Okay.
But
you put it on USA tonight.
Yeah, it's on USA and Sci-Fi. It was good. They kind of set Chucky up as being like a golem, if you know anything about the golem, like in Jewish mythology.
Yes.
That's kind of like the main character is like bullied and picked on, and so Chucky kind of comes to his rescue.
That's what Maury from Maury's Wigs calls Tony Soprano when they rip off the Hasidim and steal their hotel in season 2.
Yeah.
You're a golem. Emily, what's your staff pick? You got one for us?
And if you're watching anything, you can tell us about it too.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've been bored with shows lately, so I've started going on like music documentaries. And I hate to admit that it was only a few weeks ago that I finally learned that Lynyrd Skynyrd was not from Alabama, but from Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh.
Watched the documentary If I Leave Here Tomorrow.
Was it good?
Yeah, really, really good. So I learned a lot about the band, and now have an even greater appreciation for all those tunes. I also watched a documentary called Tennessee Whiskey. It is the Dean Dillon, kind of the history of the songwriter, Dean Dillon. He wrote a ton of stuff for George Strait. So that's how I kind of found it, was on YouTube.
He's rich.
Yeah. Well, you know why he's really rich now?
Why?
Because he actually wrote Tennessee Whiskey, I think in like the 50s, and a ton of people have cut it. And now that Stapleton has made him a millionaire. So
nice.
That's good. And then I stumbled upon something I should never have wanted to watch, but I've gotten hooked. It's called Meat Eater. It's a guy that goes out and hunts. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, he's great.
I think it's been around for a while because they got a ton of seasons. One episode, Joe Rogan and he go bow hunting together. I'd say it's in the same kind of vein as Alone. It's not a competition. He just takes like one or two people out on different hunts in different parts of the world in every episode. Just a really cool. Yeah, and then he cooks it too at the end. So it goes through the whole transition, and he really does kind of very culinary type things out in the field. Like he took wild blueberries and made a sauce to put on, some meat and bone marrow that he had cooked. So I don't know why. I mean, I don't.
Blueberry and bone marrow.
Yeah, I've actually seen that on like a real restaurant's menu before too. So it is not that uncommon. And then staff pick, we're a few weeks out, but I am jonesing for Yellowstone to come back so bad. I need those cowboys back in my life. So that's November 7th.
All right.
The Teddy Pendergrass documentary on Prime is really good, by the way.
Okay, I'll check that one out.
Sad story, but they show the only time he ever sang, the Kenny Rogers song "Lady."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he was going to transition into, he was going to cross over from R&B into pop with that song. And there's only one recording of him ever singing it because he got mangled in that car accident right after. But they play this clip from London where he sang it live, and what a different song this is with Teddy P singing it. It's very big, but it's a really good story. It's sad. And Rick James documentary is really good.
Did they talk about Eddie Murphy's Teddy Pendergrass bit from the early 80s?
They leave that out.
Bitches be throwing their panties on the stage. All right, so that's what we watched, what everybody watched, and our staff picks. And now it's time to play Views or Snooze, the horror Halloween edition presented by Jeff Leboff.
Hello, America. And once again, it's time for your favorite pastime. Which one will they choose? Play along with this week's edition of Views or Snooze. Take it away, Jeff.
All right, Views or Snooze, Day of the Dead. This is the new sci-fi zombie show. It starts this week.
Is it a remake?
Review it and then tell me if I should.
It's a series based on the George Romero universe, but I don't think George Romero has anything to do with it.
Well, I would hope not.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not
using his name or anything.
Yeah, they're not using the characters that he created or anything like that.
I'll view the first episode.
Yeah, I'll view it.
I don't know. I'm kind of ruined. Black Summer was so damn good. I don't know. How is sci-fi going to do anything as good as that?
Oh, this Black Summer came from Z Nation, which was on Sci-Fi.
Right.
I see what you're saying. They better not be lumbering soap opera like The Walking Dead.
Campy and stupid and
right.
Anyway.
And funny. George Romero's stuff was funny, so maybe there'll be some humor in it. I don't know. I'm going to give it a views.
Emily?
I'm going to snooze on that. I'm not big on zombies.
Okay.
Number 2, some of us have already talked about Halloween Kills. Comes out on Peacock.
Views.
They're putting that out on Peacock?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Comes out the same day on Peacock as theaters.
Good. I'll be able to watch it with commercials.
Nice.
I don't care. I'm going to watch it with the commercials.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, views. Yeah.
Yeah, views.
Views from everybody?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. And this one definitely gets views for me, at least for the first episode.
Why?
Because it won't be in a theater. I'll be home on my couch.
Oh, and you won't be masturbating in the theater.
Prime is doing a series based on I Know What You Did Last Summer. Starts this week.
Sweet.
No.
Snooze.
I'm going to say snooze because I tried to get into that Scream series and it just made me angry.
Same.
Yeah. I didn't care for the original at all, so I wouldn't.
What do you want from me, huh?
The Gordon Fisherman going around killing people just didn't scare me at all.
No. There was some good death scenes, though. They had some good death scenes.
It was funnier in the parodies. When they parodied it in Scary Movie, that was funny.
That was good.
So that's Views or Snooze.
All right. Well, thank you, Jeff. Now we have a very important announcement to make from Barkville Dog Rescue. Stephanie, please tell us about it.
Oh my God. If you guys, first off, you remember when we had that super cool guy come in from Six Bridges Brewing Company when we were at the studio and he brought in those beers for us to try?
Yes, I do.
He, obviously he is like a super cool guy and he loves dogs. He's a mental idiot about them. So he will always let people use his place for dog events and things like that. He loves for people to bring their dogs. They always have food trucks and he'll have bands playing. It's just a great place to hang out. So October 23rd from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Barkville will be at Six Bridges Brewing Company. We are looking for you to bring your dog in a costume because there is a dog costume contest. There will be prizes. There's going to be raffle tickets. From what I understand, there's some big ass prize that we're giving away. I don't know what it is yet, but they're giving some prize away. And we'll have Barkville merchandise for sale so you can, buy it and make yourself look like you care about things. Emily Hein Warren and her lovely husband were so cool, and they sponsored us in our raffle. We just did the Race for Our Lives a couple of weeks ago. We really appreciated that. It was awesome of you guys. And so, yes, if you want to come out, bring the whole family. It's a fun place to go. It's October 23rd, Saturday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Barkville Dog Rescue, Barkoween Woof. Oh, and by the way, the following Saturday, this girl is going to be I'm going to be judging a dog costume contest at Bogan Park in Buford for the Gwinnett County Animal Shelter. I'm very excited about this. I've never just been a judge for dog costumes, and I'm pretty stoked about it. So that's the following Saturday.
Awesome. Yeah,
I don't have a dog. Can I dress as Dog the Bounty Hunter and be in the contest?
I'm going to say, Jeff, if you come like that, I'll make sure that you get something. I will definitely make sure you get something.
Coming up, thank you, Steph. Coming up on November 6th in Rome, Georgia. If you are so inclined, please join us at Coosacon.
Coosacon, yeah.
Coosacon. It's a con dedicated to Jeannie Cusimano, the lady that lives next door to the Sopranos. No, that's not true.
That's what I was wondering, is it?
COOSACON.com. We are going to be there. We're going to try to record a show. So if you want to come out and say hello to us, we'll put you on. But we are going to be there. We'll have a little booth or table. And hopefully Eddie Munster won't get dirt all over them.
How about like Ming Chen and Brian Silverbacks and a few other people? Carrie Means, the voice
Carrie
of Frylock.
Yeah, Carrie Means is Frylock on Aqua Teen Hunger Force. He goes to all the conventions. It'll be nice to see him again. He's a cool guy. So come out and see us. Like I said, it's November 6th, Rome, Georgia. Go to Coosacon.com. Jeff and I will be there. Dustin will be there. Steph, are you going?
She's invited, but whether she can make it on a Saturday or not, still to TBD.
We'll say TBD on that. We'll say TBD.
If Steph doesn't come, I'll put on a blonde wig. Steph.
You can use my Dog the Bounty Hunter wig. I'll be done with it by then.
Her hair doesn't look like his.
I'll just dress up like the Dog the Bounty Hunter's wife's tits, like on South Park.
Yes. So before we wrap up, everybody, let's talk about where you can find us on social media. First of all, if you're not watching the YouTube channel, you can watch the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Radio Labyrinth Podcast, and all the episodes that we've done the last couple of years are up there, and a year and a half, however long this horrible pandemic has been. Dustin does a kick-ass job editing these shows. They all look really, really good. And we have a lot of our great interviews the Radio Labyrinth presents that we've been doing. Check those out if you haven't seen them yet or listened to them yet. See the guests as we're talking to them. And while you're there, subscribe, and share. Please, we could use all of that. And, it's real simple to do all those things. Patreon.com/Tim Andrews is how you become a Patreon member. For $25 a month, you can be a Radio Labyrinth producer, and your first foray into that will get you a nice t-shirt that you can choose, including the ones we have right now, which are really a tribute to the show What We Do in the Shadows, artwork done by our friend Fuxi and colorized by Jeff. They look really good. You can also get a coffee mug, and all those links are available in the show notes. You can follow us on social media at Radio_Labyrinth on Twitter, Facebook, Radio Labyrinth, and we also have the Radio Shack. If you are a serious fan and you want to talk shit and smack, Dustin runs that, and we have 2 Instagrams, which you can also find in the show notes. And our old host Ira has a funny and cool and hip Facebook page that algorithms don't push you to hate each other. Sorry, your mom blew up, Ricky. I want to thank again Emily Hein Warren for joining us. And thank you.
Yay, Emily.
Very generous donation to the WSB Carathon, the Aflac Cancer and Blood Disorder Center at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. This has been a fun show. Thank you for your game. I hope you bring one back next time. Next time you come on, we'll do a game. You can be the game master.
This was super fun. I love donating to the Choa Carathon every year. Anything for kids. I told Steph I kind of feel like it's my karma. Hopefully, if I give to the kids, I won't need to be there someday. But it's a really good organization, so I'm glad that we could give the money. And then to get this bonus prize to be on with you guys was just super exciting. I had a great time. Thanks.
All had fun. Thank you. All right. So until next week, everybody, please remember to keep it canon.
Please hang up and try again.